You understand what I'm saying? I'm from Baltimore. I was a multimillionaire. They took everything away from me. I went to prison. I never told on nobody. So as far as my credibility and my honor, I run with that. All right. I'm against the corporation. I'm against the system. The people that are against me is almost like Stockholm syndrome. They like, why would he do that? He's destroying the culture. Guys, all I did is came and took advantage of what they gave us as far as resources, and I do it independently.
What's going down? It is No Pain, No Gain. And we had a controversial episode last week. We spoke on Chad Focus. We spoke on streaming, quote unquote, scams related to streaming and Ticketmaster and just the music business in general. And it's interesting because I think Aaron and I got some heat for not being super critical of the man that we have right here, live and in the flesh, on today's episode. And for me, I'm just going to start off by saying this very briefly. I look at the music business, the stagnant royalty rates that haven't changed in decades, the lack of organic reach in these algorithms that basically bring us into the social media platforms with democratized reaches and then cut them off in exchange for jacked up CPRs and click-through rates. All these schemes that multi-million-dollar corporations and entities perpetrate against us every day. And I'm supposed to be mad at an individual for navigating these systems. I can't do it. So thank you, Chad, for being on here. Appreciate it. Good morning, Aaron, as well. Aaron's really the one that made this happen. You know, a lot of people were like, just jump in the DMs, and then my life exploded, and Aaron actually handled it.
Oh, you know, Chad actually hit me after the episode went live. He said, I was trying to wait till it went live, and it went live. And I guess shout out to the No Pain, No Gain fans. Shout out to the previous MEC fans, because apparently they were blowing you up. So you hit me. I'm grateful.
Hey, listen, the internet's crazy, right? I was on the comments, and you know, I'm familiar. Like I said, I'm familiar with Payne and his movement. I think Payne, you did a show. I think was with Cato, the producer, when I first had dealt with my situation. And what's dope for me is I've been kind of way back, man. I've been actually, you know, circling around now, Aaron, with everybody that kind of had a perspective but didn't get my narrative, right? So it's been dope for me to kind of have a chance to, you know, speak from my own perspective on what was going on. And then I seen where Aaron was coming from, and I was like, I got to find this young lady on social media. And then, of course, I went and did my homework, and they love you guys as far as, like, you know, on social media and what you guys bring to the culture. And it's dope for me because I just finished up with the Brandman Network, and me and Brandman Sean, he had a perspective about Chad Focus that I completely, you know, 180 after I came off of his platform. He just was mind blown. And it's dope for us, man, because this is going to go viral. His platform went viral, and I can't imagine, you know, this not happening again, guys. So it's a blessing to be here. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate what you guys do for the culture. You know, I got much respect and love for you guys here in Baltimore.
Yeah, and we appreciate you. And I'll tell you, I definitely fell into the category of the Brandman Sean, where I this was so many years ago, but
4 years ago today, actually.
Yeah, because when Cato and I and Dame, you know, part of the very first iteration of the MEC podcast spoke on what you were doing. You know, I'm reading these articles, and it's like Chad Focus steals $4 million and blows it on Times Square billboard ads. I'm like, you know, given that information, I'm like, that's what? Why would he do that? So that's how I spoke on it. Now, you know, at the time, I don't think you were at liberty to set the record straight. Yeah. So we're getting this other narrative. So I apologize for not using my power of discernment and my skepticism and just taking that stuff at face value. I shouldn't have done that. I feel like.
Appreciate it. Hey, look, man, like I said, we you know, we are mature. We know what comes with the game, and we signed up for this, Payne. You know, anytime you take a chance to go ahead and be in the public light, it comes with uncontrollables like that. You feel what I'm saying? And the media does what it has to do. But like I tell everybody, man, all publicity, guys, is good publicity. It's about what you do with it. All right. And I done turned this thing around, guys, and it's only up from here.
Yeah, I think this is like a good teaching moment too, because skepticism is taught to us, but from the side of the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're taught to disbelieve things. And I think that all of us should be skeptical of what's originally like the first story that's put in front of us. But the first time I even heard about you was on the Brandman Network, because I know Sean and Corey. Me and Corey have been cool for years. Corey has spoken on some of my panels and stuff. So when you were on there, I watched the episode and I was like, yeah, this
Oh,
is, you know
hey,
what I'm
Aaron,
saying? Because I love, like, right now, like we were talking about before we started recording, right now, my name is in so many people's mouths as a negative person. And I'm like, how? Like,
yeah,
if you just listen to me, the first, there's a scripture that says the person who presents their story first seems the most right. And then
gotcha.
understanding comes when the second half of the story is presented. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, of course, we think, oh, this and this and this, but it's like the moment that you hear the other side, and then you speak with a type of conviction that I think that most people aren't expecting, and you're not
Facts.
wheeling and dealing. You know what I'm saying? You're like,
Yeah,
you're coming with the truth, and it's evident to anybody who can hear what you're saying. It's like, I need to pay attention to what's going on. And then
yeah,
for us, especially in communities that are marginalized, it's like they're always trying to screw us over. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's like once you started talking and really explaining your story, which I know if you've never heard Chad Focus story, y'all, we're about to get into it. But yeah, so if you could just give us a little bit of your
There
background
you go.
and then why we're here. I'm just
Okay.
fascinated in how you have not only turned lemons into lemonade, but opened up a whole lemon shop and a
Oh yeah.
lemonade express company. You know what I'm saying? So
Smoothies, we working. So look,
yeah.
man, born and raised, man, Baltimore guys. Great family, to be honest with you, man. My mom's a nurse, 35 years, signed in a hospital. Father, entrepreneur, guys, in the construction world, mental health world, physical therapy world. I played ball, Aaron, growing up. You know, I thought I was going to be the next, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Michael Jordan. That was the plan. You might not be able to tell, but I'm 6'5", 250. So I thought it was a given. I'm like, look, man, I'm a point guard my way into a couple $1 million, take care of my family, have a good time. Growing up in Baltimore, as you guys already know, man, there's a lot of things that you could, get displaced in. The drugs, the crime, lack of opportunities, lack of visibility, and lack of resources. So my mom did a good job. One, man, like I said, emphasizing education. For me, as far as like my background, communications, guys, IT, technology, that's always been my world. You asked about how the music thing works, man. I was always a fan of your Michael Jacksons, guys, your Princes, Whitney Houston's, your Justin Timberlake's, Elton John's. Like I'm a music enthusiast. I love it. And I started off playing piano. 10 years classically trained, Scott Joplin's, and I can do any and everything as far as like that music space. And that's what I want everybody to know. I love the game and I love actually the culture. That's where I came from. The way that I got into, as we see what this industry is, I started off in the marketing world. Graduated from college, guys, 2009, McDaniel College in Westminster. Prior to that, I went to Randallstown High School. That's in Baltimore County. So everything that I had been doing, building up, Aaron, was about technology and was about, what's going on in the culture and what's coming as far as social media. So I'm always trying to stay on the actual curve of what's popping, right? When MySpace came, I was one of the first people that had a MySpace account. When YouTube started to become what it was, I was there for the YouTube world. And when I got out of college, guys, I took a year off. I went down to North Carolina, stayed with some family members, and I taught myself what you guys see nowadays is called SEO, search engine optimization. I spent a lot of time on those forums, teaching myself, trial and error, giving myself the skill set and ability to go ahead and do something and make something out of my college career. I never got a job or got hired in the communication space, so I created my own lane. Came home in 2011. I started off at this company called Agora Financial. So if you guys, know now, as far as like the case that I was wrapped up in, it was me working with a company called Agora Financial. I was the marketing executive, the SEO manager for this corporation, guys. My job was to do lead generation. All right. My job is to bring traffic to their websites, consumers and customers, subscribers. These guys sell financial newsletters and, we able to monetize what you guys see online. It was a contrarian publication, guys, which means is that they go left when everybody's going right and they go right when everybody else is going left. And this is where I learned all of my skill sets, guys, target markets and audiences and upsells, downsells, and how social media and influence can be utilized, guys, for good or for bad. I was probably one of the first guys that got into the bot world, Aaron, as far as automation. I built one of the first automated bot networks that kind of manipulates how websites rank in Google. All right. So now, guys, we're going back about 13 years. This is 2010 and 11. I'm starting off as an intern at a company, a completely white organization, young black kid from Baltimore, working at a company in Mount Vernon, Baltimore. The only person that looks like me and that speaks like me. And I came in there, guys, and I took a couple of engineers from Fiverr.com. If anybody's familiar with Fiverr, I was one of the first people on Fiverr as well. I found some kids from Pakistan. I found some kids from Philippines that still work with Chad Focus today. and we built our own independent marketing agency. I pay these guys out of pocket from my salary. We figured out how to do this thing we call SEO, which is how to manipulate Google and Yahoo and Bing so that companies show up very, very high in the search engines organically. And then, Agora eventually, guys, they contracted me and my guys, and that's how I started off. That's where I come from. I come from that marketing space. I come from starting at a startup company. I was worth a couple $1 million to when I left, guys, they were well over $1 billion company per year in sales. I was a part of building a multi-million dollar, now a multi-billion dollar organization. And that's where we at, Aaron. That's kind of like the start off that gets you guys like where I was at 2011 to 2015. If you guys want me to kind of segue like how all of this makes sense as far as like the legal issues and everything else, that's cool. If you guys just want to know kind of the marketing space and anything else, just let me know and we go ahead and flow.
Yeah, let's do both. Let's talk about the legal issues, but then we can go back and talk about
Facts.
marketing, because you already are showing that you were the genius behind it. So yeah, let's talk about because that's the hot topic, but I want to get into the marketing.
So look, guys, this is basically like, all right, let's explain it like this. What you guys see online, you don't realize that there's people that manipulate what you guys see. All right. The information that you see, we put it there so you guys can look at it and so you can, absorb it. All right. If you're a Democrat, right, most of those people are watching your CNNs and MSNBCs. If you're a Republican, you're watching Fox. All right. Programming is the way that I want you guys to look at this entire conversation and make it make sense. Think about radio, think about TV. Now you think about the internet. Corporations that have money and budgets are the ones that program what you guys see, read, find. Even Google can be manipulated, right? So the way that we start off with Google and why I was important to Agora is that they were spending hundreds of millions of dollars in pay-per-click marketing. All right. That's your advertising to put advertisements, guys, all over the search engine pages for whatever you guys search for. So for Aaron, that could be hair care products. For DJ Payne, that could be shaving products. For Chad Focus, that could be jewelry. All right. Companies pay to show up in these slots. The more traffic you get, of course, the more eyeballs you get, and then you try to convert those customers. What I did for Agora was I figured out the algorithm which allowed the same content that they were spending pay-per-click marketing millions of dollars on. I figured out the leverage of how they could organically rank using the cheat code of what I call automation so that they could cut their costs as far as the advertising. So now people love to find things what they feel like is organically. They like to feel like they found something. So the psychology of putting a promotion onto the front page of Google ranks #1. So when they search for a certain keyword, it shows up. The conversion rates will skyrocket. The products that Agora sold, guys, they were more so on the Ponzi type of scheme. They're get rich quick schemes. So a lot of you guys are familiar with multi-level marketing and network marketing. I've been a part of a lot of companies like that. We call it affiliate marketing, where you're selling a product and you might see an advertising where it says turn $50 into $5,000, or buy this penny stock and you make $1 million tomorrow, or this new oil trade line is going to get you rich tomorrow. Those are the kind of companies, guys, that I was affiliated with and I was working with. And that's what Agora kind of presents. Big publication, guys, where they have writers and designers and copywriters. And my job was basically for those guys to create their Nordstroms, build their store, upsell their actual items, and I was to bring the traffic. I signed a deal where I was making 10%, Aaron, as far as every subscriber that came to the website. And then I was making 10% on the back end of the full lifetime of the customer. So if anybody's looking at it like, yo, Chad Focus had to scam for money, guys, I should be worth at least close to 9 figures right now off of just the commissions alone, the back ends, the front ends, and me putting together the mastermind. Where I went wrong, guys, is being a young dude from Baltimore. I didn't understand that I should have had a legal team when I signed my contracts. That's your non-competes. That's your NDAs. That's when you're signing over your rights in perpetuity. So everything that I was dealing with in the content publishing space, guys, we're, keen to how that works in the music publishing space, right? Publishing is publishing. And when I went to that company, I signed on as an employee, and I emerged from employee duties to a lot bigger roles within the company, which should have become more defined. I should have got legal representation of what I meant as I grew, as I evolved. I should have created an LLC. I should have forced these guys to, one, pay my LLC the marketing budget, and then I would have allowed myself to, retain a salary and build your trust. There's a lot of stuff, guys, that gets big, but me not having the certain acumen or the knowledge or somebody that had been in that space before, I was allowed to be taken advantage of. You got to understand, I'm in my 20s. I'm making millions of dollars. I'm making this company billions of dollars. And everybody that I'm working with, we're all in this game together. And like I said, I'm not the one that looks like anybody else. So if you guys remember The Wolf of Wall Street, Leonardo DiCaprio is with Matthew McConaughey in like the first couple scenes. These guys are like snorting coke and they're spending company money and they're having a great time. That was my introduction to Wall Street, guys. You know, my first trip and my first conference was what PubCon. It was out Los Angeles. I mean, I was out Las Vegas. We go out there, guys, and the CEO that I'm with, like I said, I'll never throw homie under the bus. That's not what I'm here for. I spent my first weekend on my first big trip, man, in a room that I couldn't afford, driving Range Rovers and Rolls Royces, snorting cocaine, smoking weed, having sex with hookers. And this was what we learned as the corporate life, was how we treated the higher ups because of the benefits of us making millions and millions of dollars for the company. This was what we call the perks. So I got caught in the life, guys, of learning what the perks were, trial and error. Fast forward to what you guys seen as far as like when you get introduced to Chad Focus as this kid that's scamming and doing all these crazy, wild things. I was kind of birthed into that world, guys. I was kind of like introduced to it. And being the only person that looked like myself, I didn't have anybody to mentor me. I didn't have anybody tell me what was right and what was wrong. I did what I seen. I replicated it, and I take responsibility as a man, because no matter what in life, you get to take responsibility for what you did and what you did wrong. Hindsight is to know what I did wrong. And now for me to come and tell my story to everybody else, where nepotism comes involved, right, guys? You like, they did it, why can't he do it? I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say I did it. This is my transparent story. They'll never admit to what they did, but just go ahead and take my advice, guys, and, you know what I'm saying, live and learn from my mistakes.
Well, let me ask you, what made you go public with it all and expose it all? Because like you said, one, you don't look like them. Two, you're not hiding it like they are. And so
Thanks.
You're catching all the heat.
Well, you know, I put it like this, Payne. I do these interviews, right? And this is my one analogy that I say. If you guys want a dope analogy, I'm on steroids, guys. All right. So I feel like if Barry Bonds came out and say, I'm on steroids, I had 70 home runs, you guys made billions of dollars because of the energy that came around from me using performance enhancement drugs. Let's have that conversation. You knew, guys, because it was behind the scenes that we were not passing these tests. You guys had those reports. But guess what? If Roger Clemens came out and say, yeah, I was taking steroids too, I had to pitch to Barry Bonds. What you think I was going to do? And if other guys came out and we understood that everybody was doing something that was actually wrong and people were also benefiting from it, we can have a conversation, right? And that's what nobody really wants to do, Payne. Nobody wants to take responsibility, which is perfectly fine. For me, I already lost the reputation that anybody and everybody is kind of holding on to. So my transparency is my superpower. While everybody is out here faking and acting like there's somebody they're not, I'm straight up like, yo, this is who I am, bro. You understand what I'm saying? I'm from Baltimore. I was a multimillionaire. They took everything away from me. I went to prison. I never told on nobody. So as far as my credibility and my honor, I run with that. All right. I'm against the corporation. I'm against the system. The people that are against me is almost like Stockholm syndrome. They like, why would he do that? He's destroying the culture. Guys, all I did is came and took advantage of what they gave us as far as resources, and I do it independently. I do it outside of the mechanism of the control. I own 100% of my publishing and my masters, right? So what's 100% of nothing? I figured out how to put value into what I was doing, guys, using the same resources that they do. All right. I'm not here to expose anybody, but your favorite artists and your biggest labels, they in my inbox. They work for and with Chad Focus. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm bringing to the table, is that they can't do what they're doing without me. I'm one of the guys that engineer the systems that you guys see, the social media manipulation, the bots, the followers, the likes, the comments. All of that, guys, has something to do with the algorithm, that if you guys understood what's going on behind the scenes, you would appreciate what I'm bringing to the game. I just want to even out the playing field, which means that if DJ Payne wants to go and use the same resources that Universal Music does in Atlantic to promote his catalog, don't flag his records on Spotify. Pay that man for what he's worth, because he's still spending his advertising dollars and he's still putting skin in the game. But what I do know is there's guys behind the scene that are here to oppress the independents. And the industry wasn't built for independence, guys, as you know. That's why artists are signing slave deals. That's where perpetuity comes from. And when I seen our favorite artists, guys, that are major, when they lose that record deal and they completely disappear, they no longer have financial literacy opportunities, and they're completely jacked up in life. This is what I do it for. I do it for the guys that everybody's forgot about. Some of our favorite artists that don't have insurance, that are in my inbox talking about they never got paid anything from their masters, that signed deals to get 1% off of their actual royalties. And when the label's spending all of your advance money and they're overcharging you for stuff, you always want to stay in the red. Things like that people don't know these conversations about. You guys consume the music at $9 a clip. It used to cost $10 for an album, $14 for an album. So as a consumer, just think about, we come from that world, guys, where you're no longer even paying for your favorite artists to take care of their friends and their family. So this is not just about me. This is about the creators. This is about the independents. This is about the visionaries. This is about the DJ Paynes. This is about the Aaron Knights. This is about Chad Focus and T-Pain. This is about Akon. This is bigger than just a conversation about me. This is about this entire, industry. And somebody going to go ahead and have to fix it. Why not be the face of what's going on? I'm not the martyr guy. I'm just the one that's telling his story, and it's the truth. And it makes everybody uncomfortable when you tell the truth.
That's the truth right there. So if we can dive back into the marketing, so you're an SEO master and you taught yourself. If we're fast forwarding to now, what are you teaching yourself and what are you focused on as far as industry trends? What are you predicting? Like, what is the marketing thing that you're leaning into right now? Because it's evident that you understand the industry and you're predicting where it's going. So what does that look like right now?
So I'll put it like this. I reverse engineer what's going on. That's my skill set. If I'm an X-Men, I reverse engineer. I can see what the competitors are doing, figure out the resources they're using, the budgets, everything. So I'm big, Aaron, in analytics. I love the databases. I'm one of the only independent artists that has a Music Connect 2.0 account, your chart metrics, access to all of my distributions and other people's distributions. So I study what's going on as far as the data. I come home from prison. This is Thanksgiving 2022. I was in a halfway house. I got this $10 phone, guys. So everything that you see that I've been doing, I was doing in a halfway house with 160 inmates. No resources, no internet, guys, cracking into people's Wi-Fi. Like this is the limitedest resources you can have, guys. I'm going viral. What I know is influence works. So what social media created for us was digital real estate, where people like a Kim Kardashian and a Kanye West and an Aaron and a DJ Payne have platforms, they have followings, that if you guys support and endorse one movement at the same time, it can create a snowball. So what you're seeing happen with Chad Focus is the kid comes out and says he makes 70K with Spotify bots. I don't say how, why, what's going on, but that right there was enough to trigger an actual algorithm. That has put that in front of everybody's eyes. I have over 90,000 shares in the last 2 months alone. I got over 50 million views. If you think about what that would cost to do an organic campaign, that's a multi-million-dollar campaign of going viral. I'm a young guy that just left prison as the scammer that came back home and hasn't released new music and is the talk of the music industry. Reels work, all right? Taking segments from a long-form piece of copy, which is we're going to do an interview for an hour, 2 hours. Brandman Network has 2 2-minute clips. 2 1-minute clips that has changed their lives. And these guys are marketers. I love Corey. I love Sean. When have you guys ever gone viral before Chad Focus came on the platform? And our job is to help other people go viral. So shouldn't we be going viral? Shouldn't that be a part of the case study? The reels work. Saying things that are true and it being a headline, not clickbait, but an actual quote, that works. All right? Facts work. Me saying 200 songs, guys, I got a catalog. 3,000 streams per day less allows you to stay under the threshold. That's me talking about data. This isn't like me making this up. This is about you guys go try that. How do I know? Because I've had my records flagged by Spotify and they let me know that 3,000 or 10,000 records is when they have their automation detection check to see if this record is actually getting the real traction. They only do it to non-mainstream artists because if you're mainstream, it's more possible for you to go ahead and get 3,000 streams per track per day. So if you understand what's going on, this is discrimination on an actual technical level, guys. And once I figured it out, I said, look, let me go ahead and put this out here. I own publishing of major artists. I own publishing of independent artists. I run campaigns for both. And I see the disparities between the both. And I'm giving you guys the game. As far as what I'm doing right now, Aaron, the algorithm that you guys see that I'm tweaking right now, I got the biggest bot network in the world. That's really why they wanted to put me in prison, guys, because I control influence. You give me a budget, whether you're a politician, whether you own a certain product, whether you got a song, whether you're an Ice Spice, and I'll make much the #1 shit in the world. That's what they see and they know right now because I'm making my stuff #1 right now, guys, with no budget and owing somebody millions of dollars of restitution. What does that mean for these type of creators? What does exposure mean for the people that are trying to look at what we do? So they're missing that point, Aaron, that I figured out the algorithm is influence. I figured out a way to get people to share and to have a conversation. And it's the elephant in the room where one guy, like I said, is taking on the road that I feel like a Barry Bonds should have took, which is I'm on my Jose Canseco, but I'm not throwing nobody else under the bus. I'm just saying, look, either you guys can come and join me or you can stand on the sidelines and just continue to call me and I'm going to still get money because I'm running campaigns for your biggest and your best and your favorites. And they want to tweak the algorithm so they can get more bang for their buck. So everybody wants the sauce and I'm the sauce.
So I'm trying to run the numbers here, and 200 songs in a catalog, and they're each getting, let's say, 2,999 streams each every day, based on which I think this is a problematic number, but if we're talking about $0.004 per stream, which is kind of the accepted royalty rate per stream, which it isn't.
Yep.
And you know that.
Thanks.
But based on that number, we're looking at about $2,400 a day, which is amazing money. And that can, a lot of people were critical of that, saying, well, that's not how, the bots can't show up to your concert. And it's like, listen, if I'm making damn near $2,500 a day, do you know what I can do? That's financial freedom.
They're not thinking.
They're not thinking. But in addition to that, you're talking about all these other components, because clearly when you're talking about reels, et cetera, and this is something, minus the bots, automation aside, right? Everything you said, even if someone doesn't implement any sort of automation, that is solid advice for artists. And a lot of artists, again, aren't thinking in terms of organic reach. You're hitting it from both angles, because the brand man stuff, that's organic. There are no bots involved. You're just putting out content that people want, and you're framing it in the way that attracts them and that gets them boosted in the algorithm completely organically.
Put it like this, right? I say 600,000 streams a day. If we just talking about math, like you said, Payne's doing the math. There's streaming calculators out there, guys, for you to do the math. I'm the one guy that's talking about the fucking math. Excuse my language. Like, let's have a conversation about, like you said, 0.003 is 0.003 fifths of a penny. They ain't paying us shit. All right. So how you guys going to use your leverage? Snoop Dogg was just on the actual platform talking about, I got 1 billion streams and I'm not making no money from 1 billion streams. But Snoop, what does the ownership look like that you signed over for what you are going to get from that 1 billion streams? That's the conversation. So we know 1 billion streams makes $4 million, but maybe you only getting 20% of that $4 million. All right. Maybe if you owned 100%, 1 billion streams would be $4 million sent right to your TuneCore. If you look at what Russ is doing, guys, and why he's genius, he built up his catalog. He went and took the leverage to the actual fucking record labels, guys. They built them and made them famous. He put out some #1 hits. He retained ownership to the publishing, and now he cashes out TuneCore every single month, guys, because he's famous. He got a fan base. He leveraged the system, and he gives you the game. And what does he say that everybody gets mad at him for, Payne? I write, produce, own, engineer, mix, and master, and everybody's like, damn, yes, guys, I kept it all in-house. I own everything. What they don't talk about with Chad Focus, I built my own record label. I'm from Baltimore. I taught myself music and publishing, guys. I do my own copyright, my own admin, my own sound exchange, my own song trust. I got digital radio, internet radio. I understand advertising. I've been doing AdWords. I monetized every last piece of the game, guys, and taught myself. I went in all of these meetings, guys, and figured this out. If I do 1 million streams, which, Payne, you could type in Chad Focus Spotify charting and see that in 2017, bro, I was top 200 in Spotify. I was making $4,000 a day. Easy. This is facts. I built my own video game app. I connected the API key from Spotify to my video game. I automated the bots to download my game on real platforms. Every time I have a minute, I got 2 streams. 2 streams allows me to make 1 penny. So I create formulas that make sense. Guess what? The record labels aren't going to put me on Madden and NBA 2K. I'm not getting no sync licensing deals. I don't got no friends at Xbox and PlayStation, but I can go on Fiverr, guys, build an app, put it on the Google Play Store, put it on the Apple Play Store, and I can use the technology to make it work for myself. All right. And then I can help you guys do it. $5,000 a clip. But the game is, now that we're doing the streams, right? I talk about 18 million to 20 million streams safely. I'm no longer focused, guys, on making a single work, because I'm trying to make this work for life, guys. I got a catalog. Your one-hit wonders are still performing the same song 20 years later because they don't have a catalog, because they don't get streams for anything but that one song. So when they go perform other songs, we look at them and say nothing at all. So you got to think about where I see this game going at, Payne. I'm spending $4 to make $6, guys, because using technology is not free. All right. If you buy an advertisement through Facebook or Instagram, what serves that advertising, Payne? A bot. A bot puts it in front of everybody that you're targeting. That's not a human interaction. Payne isn't going and putting this up, guys. This isn't like newspapers and vinyls and TV and broadcasting. You're working with bots each and every day. Every time you go on a website and you got a problem with customer service, you're working with a bot, guys. I'm just the one that's using the bots, man, to work for me, my team, and my homies. 18 million to 20 million streams every month, guys, is $60,000, $70,000. If you're spending $40,000, guys, you'll make 60 or 70 grand, guys. I'm making $4 turning to $6. If you break it down, I'm making a $20,000 to $30,000 net profit. I do this each and every day. Not only this, guys, but your favorite artists are selling their publishing every day, and you guys aren't taking a piece of that. All right. Quality Control just sold their publishing. We got Murder Inc. sold their publishing. You're looking at Justin Timberlake sold his publishing. Lil Wayne sold his publishing. Do you know that those auctions were public? I own pieces of Beyonce. I own pieces of 21 Savage. I own pieces of Taylor Swift. This is public knowledge, guys. You can use the royalty machines that are out here. You can use SongVest, guys. So I'm giving you game. I'm giving you education. I could either take it and put it in and gatekeep it in Focus Music University for $5,000 a year, which I'm thinking about doing, so I can actually have people that feel like I'm giving them value, or I can continue to evolve and figure out more stuff. So that's the game for me, Payne. I want a Michael Jackson in the industry, bro. I want to own a Beatles catalog, bro. And I want to be the same guy that created Thriller. I'm trying to be both of those guys at the same time. And I mastered this. And everybody that we know in the industry knows about it, but none of those guys can sit in that room and have this conversation. And none of our favorite artists, rappers, singers, dancers that look at why they're popping right now realize that's coming out of their actual catalog. That's coming out of their royalties. That's coming out of their actual advances, guys. They're paying these guys to keep them in slavery and for them to stay cool in front of you. My favorite artist, guys, is Future. When he talked about Molly Percocet and said, I don't use Molly Percocet, and that went over you guys' head. You're being sold, you're being programmed, and respectfully, my favorite artists, guys, in the industry don't even know what's going on behind the scenes. Now, if we come together, game over. If everybody goes in and gets mad at Chad Focus, perfectly fine, guys. I'm from Baltimore. I wasn't supposed to make it past 30. This is light work. All right. I just did a prison sentence, bro. They took me away from my kids, took away my mansions, my cars. They strip you down to take your material. They can't take your mind. They can't take your knowledge. They can't take your passion. And Payne, they can't take away the data, Payne.
Yeah, and they did. Spotify did kind of make an example of you, right? At some point.
Facts. So they removed my actual campaign, right? So Chad Focus is removed from Spotify, right? Remove my record, stop paying me out through my distribution. So let me tell you the trick for that, guys. And this is right here. This is $1 million worth of game. Again, as always, right? Shout out to Gilly. Metadata, guys. The metadata is what the actual track is created, guys. It's your MP3. When you create the record, your BPM, the tag, everything that has to do with the actual file. They can't take away your metadata because that, guys, your IRSC codes, your UPCs, do the research after you watch this because Payne is giving y'all the game. When you distribute your records to your Nielsen's, your SoundScans, your BDSs, and all these databases, it's built off of metadata. They can't play with the metadata. The game does not start and stop with Spotify. The person that's paying you guys the most in the industry is Napster, who was the guys that were the original crooks. Now they're the ones that take the best care of the artists. All right. You know who's paying you out the best? Tidal. And you know who they tried to destroy? They tried to destroy Jay for what he tried to do for the artists because he tried to provide exclusivity. Look, Beyonce is here at Tidal. Kanye West is here at Tidal. So they try to punish Jay and saying those guys were inflating their streams. Do your research and watch what's happening when a young black man, billionaire, owns his own streaming services, puts his friends on, and gives them the higher payouts. Tidal pays money. Napster pays money. Deezer pays money. Apple Music pays money. Y'all get lost on the Spotify game. I'm just exposing the biggest crook in the game, guys. Don't let them give you bits and pieces and peanuts. Don't let them put all types of crazy stuff on their platform, Payne, as far as stuff that we've seen with the COVID and guys they let go on the platform say whatever they want to. Don't let them pick and choose. That's why I say this nepotism is different. For me, I got Spotify, I got Apple Music, I got Tidal, I got metadata. I got records on all of these platforms under different pseudonyms. I own other artists' records, Payne. Like I said, I'm running campaigns with some of your favorite artists' records. I own publishing. This is a publishing conversation. This is not about Chad Focus, the artist, guys. It's about Chad Focus, the boss, the independent record label CEO exec. And every last one of you guys, when you're an independent artist, you're an entrepreneur. Start your own LLC. Sign yourself. Figure out what you're worth. Build up the value in your digital real estate so that one day they can go on SongVest and sell your shares of your song for $1.50 for 10,000 shares.
Yeah, I want to talk about psychology too, because obviously that's a major component. I know you kind of touched on it. It's implicit in the conversation about SEO. And you were talking about how people like feeling like they've discovered something organically rather than discovering something via some sort of paid advertisement. I feel like psychology can go a lot of different ways. I saw a clip of you talking to a young woman who had an OnlyFans, and you were talking about the psychology, and it was practical also, because it wasn't just about perception of the consumer. It's also about perception of corporate entities that you know, nowadays, numbers are everything. They've always been everything, but now more than ever, we have better access to them. They're not necessarily the most transparent, but it's the best we have as, you know, DIY creatives. So someone like her, you were encouraging to inflate the numbers to not only increase the psychological perceived value of her brand, but also to get actual higher rates for influencer partnerships.
Well, you ever heard of Social Blade, Payne?
Yeah. Yep.
So look, you got something like Social Blade, right? Where you go and you can look at the value of what you got going on, your followers, your engagement. It gives you like kind of like some dope analytics. If you connect your platforms to those, they give you more analytics, right? These are conversations that I'm having with people that, like I said, I'm from Baltimore, I'm from a oppressed place. She's not going to know this information. Shout out to Showgirl Neat, the best strippers in the world, but one of the best creators. I watch what she is to TikTok. She comes up with all the dances. She's the routine. She's the one that helps blow artists' songs up. You should be the brand that when Atlantic has to blow up a new Cardi B record, they call Showgirl Neat and say, here's $10,000. Get you and your homegirls, create a new dance, help us go viral. This is the new Cardi B challenge. All right. I'm trying to figure out, one, how to monetize that, and then also how to help her automate certain things. If she takes a Sunday Payne and does 30 dances, and then she uses something like Hootsuite where she can schedule her actual social media planning, then that's using a bot in an intelligent way so that she has the resources to do her social media planning, guys. So you see her content on a day-to-day basis. Automation, guys, can be a magical, beautiful thing if you understand the concepts. What I'm telling her is to use automation, like you said, to build the value of her brand. More people that see her are the more people that will sign up for her OnlyFans. The more OnlyFans subscribers that she has, the more she can charge sponsors and people to use her brand to get their stuff on her platform. The more money that she makes, my homegirl don't have to go to the club unless she wants to. I want to make the club optional because it deserves to be optional. You deserve to make money in your sleep. You deserve to go on vacation, and you deserve to twerk when you feel like it and make them pay $25 a month, $50 a month. Like your bandman Kevos, who's making millions of dollars off of OnlyFans, giving people education, talking about financial literacy, who also went to federal prison like me and came back and took over the credit game because he's talking about dispute letters. When you can go learn about that on YouTube, or you can appreciate this man for putting it all on his platform right there, consolidated for you to go ahead and utilize.
I want to pick up on that too, because you said something earlier when you were discussing the possibility of having a Chad Focus University style mentorship, paid mentorship program, because there's psychology behind that too. I feel like this is something that I struggle with too, and a lot of us struggle with, where we're, and Aaron, I'm sure we've talked about this, Dame too, giving away all of this information. Cause I feel like I'll make a video that I'm just like, damn, this is the content in this video for the producer community. You can't get, you can't pay for this kind of value. What I'm giving away in this, 11-minute video. Yeah. It'll get 5,000 views, but someone saying, I made a beat out of the sound of spaghetti hitting the plate. Yeah. 20 million views. And then you got people running around. No one's giving away free game. Everyone's gatekeeping information. There's a psychology behind free information. The information could be amazing, but once you start charging for it, it almost seems like you attract more eyes. Can you speak to that?
All right. So I'll put it like this, right? As far as what I'm giving you guys, as far as the game, it's one thing to give away the game, but it's another thing to be able to execute. You need Chad Focus to help you execute. You can't do this. You can do this by yourself. You can take and put all these pieces together. Guys, this is a decade of my life. This is 15 years of $1 billion worth of money generated in the actual marketing game. This you can't replicate this. All right. The systems, everybody got access to systems. Everybody got access to guns. Some people can't shoot for shit. Like, that's what it is. So when you see what I'm doing here on Payne's platform, or you see what I did on Brandman or Vice TV, I want you to understand that the smartest thing that I caught from what Erin said is, she said, I read this guy's call to action. You want to be famous, rich, both. All right, that's money, that's money, that's money. You want to go viral. So I got 4 things I can help you do, or you can do all 4 of them. Click the link in the bio. My link in the bio is on fire right now. I'm doing consultations, $150 to $250 for an hour to just speak to a guy that just got out of prison who could change your life. What does the upsell look like sitting on that call and being like, yo, Chad, I want to retain you. I want you to manage what I'm doing. Hey man, we're about to do a rollout. I seen what you did with the Lil Baby Moneybagg Yo concert. Looks like millions of dollars. It looks like a guy that owes $4 million in restitution is about to make $16 million real fast. It looks like, how do I leverage what I'm doing, guys? It's not just about celebrity. They pay to hang around people that have no value to offer them, Pain. You got value to offer. I'd come to a Pain seminar. I do all of my production in-house. That's why I own everything. Bring it in-house. I own everything exclusively. My cousins are my producers. My best friends are my producers. They could learn from a DJ Pain. I would pay $1,000 for him to give you the game on how to get a Billboard record without me. Go show these guys how you do what you do. Why aren't they doing podcasts, Pain? Because you're not just a producer. So you're a content creator. When these guys got to wait for me to go ahead and give them money from a back end, or they got to wait 4 months for a quarterly check from BMI, Pain goes and gets that money. He go and get that bacon. You got AdWords, you got your subscription, you got your following, you can sell t-shirts, you can do affiliate marketing with Amazon. Everything that we're doing as far as these brands, bro, can be monetized. And I'm showing people how to monetize your brand and how to build it up organically, inorganically, but I'm showing you how to execute, guys. I'm showing you how to liquidate your brand. When they click the link on my bio, Pain, they see me on this show. Some people just want to talk to the guy. That's the guy. And I respect that too. How much would you pay to have lunch with Jay-Z? How much would you pay to have lunch with Obama? Shit, how much would you pay to sit down with Donald Trump? I pay to sit down with all those guys. How much would you pay to sit down with Kanye West? Let's be honest, man. The guy that went from $50 million in debt to $5 billion in a Yeezy contract with Adidas doesn't have to do music no more. Who wouldn't want to sit down with Rihanna? So what I'm saying, bro, is that we all bring value to a certain level. We're using these platforms, Pain. I'm giving away the game, but it's not free. I'm building up my equity, bro. I'm building up my value. What does it look like to have to book Chad Focus? Or for me to come and have to do a capstone speech at people's graduations? What about a TEDx? What about me going and teaching students at Harvard, Stanford? So my price, bro, is based off of what people want to give me as far as value. If you take the game I give you guys and this helps put value into your life, that's what God put us here for. But as far as being able to execute and Chad Focus sitting down with you one-on-one, strategizing, showing you step-by-step and working along with you through the trial and error, can't put a price on that, guys. It's worth millions of dollars. Or as I should say, it's worth billions of dollars worth of game, man.
Okay, so this is my question then. I feel like I attract a lot of people who want to work with me, but when I name the price, the affordability for them isn't there, right? And I know that people pay for what they want to pay for, but I feel like there are a lot of people, typically the people that I'm marketing to, can't afford me. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like with you, you have like a lot of people who think that they could probably afford you as well. I know you have the celebs, but because of the places that your videos are going viral, my assumption is that there are a lot of people who don't actually understand the music industry that want to work with you. So how do you typically overcome that? Because that has been my issue, is like, how do I actually monetize my genius when people can't actually afford it?
So I'm gonna tell you this, Aaron. This is why I'm gonna tell you target marketing is real. Outside of being able to do what I do, guys, on the inflation stats, I'm really, really good at paid advertising. I really know how to go and find a black guy who wants a beard that looks like mine and sell him the beard cream that I'm using. $4 for the ad, $20 for the sale, turn $4 into $16 profit. That's my skill set, is to master ROI of getting in front of the audiences I need to. So first and foremost, guys, one of the best marketers on God's green earth. Appreciate you, Mom. The second thing is this, Aaron. If the people can't afford you, they don't deserve to be in your space, because it's more about your value of what you've done and what you are as a person and what you brought to the game. Another thing I want you guys to know is these celebrities are probably the most full people on earth. They are the ones that want to get in my inbox, guys, and ask for shit for free. And those are the ones that I look at and be like, now I see why they put you in that slave deal. Now I see that you'd rather spend $5,000 on a chain to look and feel and act like you're rich instead of giving me that money and then a budget for me to go ahead and run your advertisements for you. Those are the people that are wanting to get things for free and give you the least. Guys, guess what? If you call me and say, look, bro, I'll give you a testimonial. My testimonials is worth $2,500. Let's figure out a way to barter something, Chad Focus, respectfully. The people that call me every day are your regular, hard-working entrepreneurs. I was working with a young lady yesterday. She's in the health and wellness space. She wants to go viral. I'm working with another artist who wants to go in and monetize his music to invest in his IT company. So 50% of my people that I work with, from life coaches, lawyers, doctors, real estate agents, everybody needs to get traffic to their promotion, guys. If you do something amazing and you can get eyeballs to it, that's what viral is about. I'm getting viral in front of audiences that want to also do the same thing that I'm doing. And I've also picked a niche that everybody is interested in. Everybody on social media. Everybody is on a TikTok, or Facebook, or Instagram. Some dude, man, that's locked up in a halfway house has figured out how to do things that we can't do with all these computers, all this access, all these people on our phone. That's something that's overvaluable. So find out, Aaron, what you offer to your actual audience that nobody else can offer. Figure out what you do that nobody else can do. Master that and package that. Not only that part, influencer marketing. I spend $4,000 to $5,000 a month posting my content on other people's pages, using their digital real estate to get my message across. And then I do what I'm doing with you guys, which is we're going to have an hour and a half of viral moments. So once this is done and you guys post it and people start to make their snippets and their cuts, I know exactly what that link in the bio is going to look like again. So if I got 10 appointments on there for Monday through Friday, I know every single day, guys, I expect to make $1,500 to $2,500. I know what the back end looks like. So I'm out here building my back end services, Aaron, and what I'm doing as far as this person and who I can refer over here. If I want to do nothing but promotion and I'm working with Aaron and you got certain services you offer, I'm like, Aaron, give me that deal for $2,000. I'll charge them $4,000. Refer Aaron clients because this is what she offers as an expertise. So I'm very big in collaboration. Behind the scenes, I got some of the best people that work as far as my network. And ultimately, I'm a reseller, Aaron. Like, yeah, I can get you on billboard.com and XXL, and I can put you on Clear Channel billboards, but I got relationships and I monetize those relationships and I make it make sense for everybody.
I love that. This is great. Okay, shifting just a little bit because this is the game that I feel like everybody wants. What do you feel like is most important for an independent artist right now who wants to make money? Everybody, I'm not even talking about scaling anything. Specifically, number one question I feel like we get is how do I make money? So like, what do you feel like is the most important component for an artist who wants to monetize their art? Like they want to be taken seriously as an artist, but they also want the money side.
Facts. Number one, first and foremost, guys, and where I'm gonna start and end that is ownership. If you guys are not making sure that you own your actual work, your intellectual property, there's no other way to start or stop. So first and foremost, make sure that you have your ownership. What I say is that your contracts, for us, what we're doing in this industry, right? Your BMI, your copyright, sound exchange, your distribution. Those things got to be airtight because once you have put yourself in position to earn 100% from whatever you do, all of your efforts are going to make sense. All right. You could buy 5 cell phones, 5 family plans, $10 a month, $50, and listen to your record 40,000 times and turn $50 into $300 over and over again. Right. But now what you've done is that you turn $50 into $250 profit. And if you do that 10 times, that's $2,500. Do that 10 more times. Like, so think about just starting at a small scale of where the ownership starts. Payne is the first person I've heard say, guys, they're paying us 0.004 tenths of a penny for one stream. So Payne knows off top what he would get for the ownership of just 1%, 100% of one stream. He knows that number. He knows 100% ownership is the where it starts. But that one stream and that 0.004 tenths of a penny, that's 100% his 0.004 tenths of a penny. Ownership, guys. The admin. Think about our favorite artist, man, about why Lauryn Hill never dropped The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill Part 2. The Graduate, like that's not something that nobody talks about. You understand what I'm saying? Jay-Z goes over it a little bit, guys, but Lauryn Hill should still be the most relevant. Like that's the pioneer, guys. Think about your favorite artists. Think about what your Bun B's and UGKs and these guys are talking about as far as like them getting deals and selling millions of records and still being in the red when they left the record companies. All right. Read some books, guys. Think about your Scarface being one of your favorite rappers of all time and him having to figure out ownership deals. And think about Taylor Swift having to re-record an entire album and she's Taylor Swift. Why? Because they own a masters. And this was her friend who she went into business with. So you got to look at the game. It's ownership. These people are crying about ownership because after you stop performing, you should still be able to liquidate the artwork that you created. Think about what Prince was upset about, guys. He said, I went back to negotiate. If I'm paying for my recording costs, why can't you guys renegotiate a deal that's fair to us? That's why he became the artist formerly known as. So I'm just like, I don't want to be the guy that preaches all day long, but it's about ownership. And I'm willing to make sure that my legacy has 100% ownership of what I'm going to create and what I'm working hard for, Aaron. And that's the most important part for me. And I will make sure that there's equity in what I'm doing because that's what's worth something to me. 100% of 100% of what I put in.
I love that. because I'm very pro ownership, but realistically, with the average artist making less than 1,000 streams in a year on Spotify, what is the next step? And I hear you about getting on a family plan, but I think most people don't have the type of hustle that you have and the understanding of producing an outcome that they're looking for. So say they own 100% of it. How do you make money off of owning? I know people with hundreds of records who haven't seen $100, you know?
Well, they also haven't done, they haven't, how can I put it? They haven't exhausted all their options because that's unacceptable. It's just me being transparent and being honest, guys. If you got that type of money that you put in production and you haven't figured out the marketing game, it's unacceptable behavior. And I'm just being honest with you. I'm not going to coddle you guys from Baltimore. Nobody give a fuck about us, bro. Period. All right. I grew up on the same street as Kevin Lyles, guys. He's never called my phone. You understand me? Like, this is real shit. When I went to prison, I put all the kids in my high school through college. I got scholarships. I mean everything to my city. I love Kevin Lyles, bro. You think 300 Entertainment ever called me and said, let's collaborate with this young guy? He can go ahead and help us build Baltimore. I got mental health clinics. I got crews. I got all types of stuff. What I'm telling you guys, there's no excuses. There's no excuse that because I'm around the corner from people that are in position for me to stop and for me to say that I can't get the information from him. I went to fucking California, guys, with no money in my pocket. I met Troy Marshall. I paid for a consultation. He taught me the radio game. The first meeting I had with him became because I was with Livio Harris, guys, who taught me what the publishing game meant, how Spotify worked, what was social media. I went in with DJ Mingo, guys. I started off with Vertigo. I started with MP3 Wax. I started off with Coast to Coast. All right. I did my due diligence, guys. I failed more times than I won, but I was willing to fail when none of my guys wanted to go out here and find the answers. All right. So yes, when I went and I found out that the artists were using the bots, I figured out how to use the bots. Now I'm evolved, guys, to the point that I got crowd streaming networks, which means that I got people in colleges with real accounts that play shared focus records all day long because I've learned how to evolve. When you see me do an interview talking about bots, don't just think about it, guys, in what you see. Think about it in how to strategize this and make this make sense. You got people in your family. Are you asking everybody in the inbox to repost your record to support you? Every time a door gets closed, do you open up a new door or do you just take that? I know guys, Aaron, that have spent millions of dollars in producing records and have spent $0 in marketing those records. And I talk to those guys every day. I had people that call me and say, Chad, I just spent $20,000. Yo, I got this new record, yo, by so-and-so. And I'll be like, all right, bro, just put together $2,000 retainer for me. Give me $10,000 marketing budget. They scratch their head. I'll be like, yo, bro, you got on Balenciagas. You got on a brand new Ben Baller chain. And you drive a Mercedes. Pawn your car, bro. Ride a bicycle if this really what you want. So guess what, guys? We not in the age where you're allowed to make excuses any longer. You got YouTube. You got Aaron. You got DJ Payne. You got Brand Man Network. You got Jens the Guru. You got Mike Check Global. I can go over other guys that are in the space that I'm in that I salute. You got Dorian from Group 82 Music. It don't hurt me to put the highlight on other guys that you could also use as resources that do what Payne says, which is give away free game online every day. Have you ever wrote to the people that are on the playlist? Have you stopped smoking weed, got sober, and been like, look, let me rethink how I'm approaching this game? So for that, Aaron, I don't got no excuses for those guys because I just spent time in a cell with a man who was locked in for 14 years off of a couple bags of fucking crack and cocaine. All right. And I watched this man hustle and clean toilets every day to make sure that he had money because nobody put no commissary on his books. So when he sat down and he learned what I was teaching him and he called back home and he wrote letters and he told people to go out here and figure out these resources to use. There's no excuses. There's none. So if you're going to continue to go ahead and do the same things, that's insanity, and think you're going to get different results, you want to continue to eat at McDonald's and not lose weight, you don't got no pity for you. And like I said, guys, I'm from the home of The Wire, man. They ain't give us nothing, bro. Michael K. Williams, my best friend, guys, he died, overdose, fentanyl. I never got to say goodbye to my brother. I was in the shoe when my friend died, fellas. You understand me? I never seen the Vice TV episode till I came home from prison. You know what it's like to be famous in prison and nobody know who you are and you don't know what's going on and you can't capitalize off of a movement. So that's why I came home and I made it my job, Aaron, to go viral. I made it my job 2 years later after a Vice TV release to put Vice TV back on the map. Because, yeah, they going bankrupt because they ain't listening to Chad Focus. So they ain't got no excuses because you filmed a fucking segment about a guy talking about the focus formula, which is to have the support of the people that you employ. When we do a Vice TV segment and nobody that is staffed there is mandatorily made to repost the content, you guys got a problem. So I don't do the excuses thing. My grandfather never allowed me to do it. My father never allowed me to do it. And my mom ain't raised no sucker.
I love it. This is what's needed. The truth. That's good. Okay, I got one more question for you because you mentioned it, and I think that we learn a lot from hearing how other people fail. So, like, what are some of the biggest failures or some of the things that you were like, man, I threw my all into this and it went terribly?
All right. I got a T-Pain feature. All right. So I got a T-Pain feature, guys. It's Chad Focus Dance With Me. Go check it out. For those of you that think that I can't make dope music, I got a fucking hit record, guys. Let's stop playing with me. All right. And that's just me just on my industry artists, like stop playing with me. I got a T-Pain record called Dance With Me, the original fire, the remix fire. All right. I went into the industry and I decided I was going to work with some of the big heads. So I put together the budget for us to do the radio campaigns and the DJ pools. And I watched those guys stifle my campaign because I wouldn't sign away my ownership. So I've independently worked with some of the biggest sharks in the game, guys. Don't get it twisted like people that know who Chad Focus was. All of your big homies know exactly who I was. And I got some of your biggest homies on payroll to this day. What I learned is because I'm one me and I'm the only person that decided to go on this renegade rebel type of way, I didn't conform to the music industry and the way things were being done. I should have been a little bit more humble and not so much abrasive and been like, I'll sign this record deal and give away some ownership to have some of this fame, to get some of this. But I like the way that ended up even better for me because this is all circled back around. The biggest issue for me was when I did my Ticketmaster show, Lil Baby Moneybag Yo, they cut my set 12 minutes into the show. I never got to perform Dance With Me, which is my hit record, in front of people that really didn't know who Chad Focus was, but they know Dance With Me. So it looked like, who is this guy up here? Well, I'm the guy that's promoting the show. I'm sponsoring the show. And I just made $500,000, guys, off of these tickets because I didn't figure out what Live Nation, Ticketmaster been doing forever. And I just did it to you guys, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. To watch the promoters and some of the guys where I'm from locally be angry because I was in a position. I'm from Baltimore, 92Q. You guys should be supporting the Chad Focus. You understand what I'm saying? I got program directors all over the world, but the ones where I'm from, the ones I went to high school with, they stifle my movement because Chad Focus is in position. Seeing the envy that comes with being in the industry, guys, they talk about it being a fake industry. It's not a fake industry. These people are exactly who they are. Me having faith in people who showed you who they were and not believing them is why I'm only mad with myself, guys, because I was naive to the fact that I could change the game. You going to get in this game, you better be a shark. If you see what 50 Cent say, he said the corporate game way more dangerous than the streets. You better believe it. These dudes that wear these suits, they more dangerous than anybody in the hood that you see come up to you with his hands in his pocket because you know what time it is. They will rock you to sleep. They will rock you to sleep. So that's what I got for you, Aaron. The one thing I wanted to do was come home to my city, perform Dance With Me, make $500,000, show all the other independent artists how to do that, how not to just be an opening act, but to be the mainstream and the best opening act you could possibly be. How to monetize the hard work that you put in, how to capture that moment, turn it into a reel, put it on Instagram, do some influencer marketing with some of that money you got. No, buy a chain, go pay academics, go pay Say Cheese, go pay Chad Focus, go pay DJ Payne, go pay Aaron to repost your reel Friday at 2 p.m. with your exact caption and hashtag. I'm giving y'all game right now. Or call Chad Focus and be like, yo, run an ad, bro. $1,000, yo, get me 1 million impressions. My song is dope. I create music that sounds like Usher and Chris Brown, target their audience. Let me build my fan base. Let me go do what Brent Faiyaz has done. Look at a kid like Lil Russell. So you're not allowed to give me no excuses when I come home from prison and there's a kid like Lil Russell out here doing what Nipsey Hussle did, which is selling directly to his consumer. Y'all out here worried about Chad Focus and Spotify. Y'all need to worry about all the money I'm getting with people going to chadfocus.com directly and paying to sit and talk to the guy. Y'all missing that part. That's way bigger than $70,000 a month, guys. It's $1 million worth of game, man.
Chad, you're the one. And I love it. I'm so grateful. I feel like, yeah, even what you have to say about the industry, I agree. It's like people are showing you exactly who they are. I'm from the south side of Atlanta. I'm not claiming the hood, but I grew up down the street. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah.
I know how to handle myself. I know, you know, And I will say the music industry is way more cutthroat than the streets. And I agree with that. I think there are good people around, but I feel like it's like your friends will come and stab you in the back and smile at you while they're doing it. They just twist the knife, you know? So yeah, I mean, I'm impressed. I'm blown away. I'm inspired. Payne, did you have anything else that you wanted to ask about?
I have a million questions, but we're at over an hour. So I appreciate, and you touched on so much. I feel like I don't want to overwhelm the viewers, but I do hope that the people watching are some of the same ones who saw, the previous episodes or the content from 4 years ago when you first got arrested in that high profile case. And because I got so much clarity, and it's amazing hearing you speak on all of this, because the initial reports made you out to just be some rapper who didn't understand the landscape and threw a bunch of money at trivial marketing pursuits. That narrative couldn't be more false.
Be further for the truth.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. And we, again, I should have been more skeptical about those original reports, because nowadays I feel like when we see reports from these major publications, we're seeing right through the bullshit instantly. And so
but can I ask you this though, Payne? You know that you can just purchase your own press releases on these platforms. Everything's for sale.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that I would say, Payne, that you're an intelligent guy, so you knew that aspect of it. Like, and people like, yo, I read the indictment. I was like, so you never felt like the FBI did anything to Fred Hampton or any of those guys?
Right.
Like, so when people like say stuff like that to me, I'm like, you ever heard of Martin Luther King or Malcolm X? Like, does this ring any type of bells? And so for me, even like I say, Payne, people that come from where I'm from to look at it and to have basked in the downfall of a young black dude, if you go look and ask about anybody about Chad Focus in the streets, I'm about as solid as they come, bro. Like I said, I was feeding the homeless. I took care of people's cancer payments. I put everybody in my hood on payroll. Some of your biggest fucking DJs in the world, bro, got a Chad Focus record in a DJ pack and never played my shit. I was a part of something DJ Payne that was called Spinfire. Me and Rollo was going to be the face of it. Spinfire was for DJs to get compensated what they deserve to have, and for them to have a direct relationship with artists. And for when they play the artist record, for the artists to be able to see it, and those guys to have that synonymous relationship, that synergy of I'm supporting you, support me. I thought that was going to be game changer. Then I went through what I went through and the app fell apart. So now we got people that are middlemen that be like, yo, DJ Payne will support you, man. He'll play your record. He'll do a music review. Payne might say, yo, just give me $40. Man, the guy in front of Payne might charge $8,000 and say Payne is going to do all of this other extra stuff. That's where the game has gone, bro, to the dirt of what's happening. So my entire thing, Payne, is like, when you see me do the Clear Channel billboards, yo, that was a shout out to Jay. I was letting Jay know that, yo, whatever young guy you got, whatever young white dude or agency that's taking advantage of you, I got that same billboard for $30,000. You can come to me, I give it to you for free because you Jay. Instead, he probably charged you $3 million for the billboard that's smaller than mine because he gets a commission. I was only trying to get people's attention. I put the billboard of a young black kid on both sides, one in a suit and one in a hood uniform, as we call it, because I was going through a bipolar breakdown, bro. Who am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to be Chad Irons? Am I supposed to be Chad Focus? What do they want from me? Because they won't accept a young black dude in a suit, and they love when I throw the chains on. But what happens when I throw these chains on and I TEDx everybody on these interviews, and I really get $1 million, and I really do this in a different type of level? And I'm not just wearing jewelry, but I sell jewelry. Like, what happens when this guy has figured out how to integrate himself in every type of industry that he wants to be a part of? Clear Channel owned iHeart, DJ Payne. When I went and I brought them billboards, bro, I was dating a young girl in Clear Channel who decided to help me get all of my advertising on fire sale. I slept with the right girl, guys. I slept with the right chick, guys, that gave me the information that her daddy ain't want me to have. So if you go look on my actual Instagram, you see a picture with me in New York City, in Times Square. That billboard was for free because her dad was showing off. And I was in New York City to figure out how I could get a permit to play my music videos and to also have the actual song, because you got to have both of them connected. Because I wanted artists to be able to spend money to get their music videos debuted in Times Square. I'm the only artist, guys, that has a music video on his Instagram with the biggest billboard in Times Square. It's called Big Homie. Go watch it. The song fire, the visual fire, the whole breakdown fire. So everything I've been doing, Payne, I knew that this was going to circle back around. I'm very, very intelligent, bro. I'm very, very calculated. When I think about what you guys and Payne and what Payne did and Kato, the producer, look at what Kato has emerged into, bro. He's the TikTok beat god, the split screen. I study the game. I watched when Kato launched his product. I was on his list. I appreciated how he did his whole syndications and made stuff with waitlists. Like if you talk to Kato, be like, yo, salute. I got love for you. I'm a fan of what guys are as far as the good. I don't pay attention to none of the bad. We all got some skeletons. Once again, I want to say this about the Clear Channel thing, guys. Clear Channel own iHeartRadio, guys. The only way you can get on radio and not go to prison is the advertising market, guys. I was paying for advertisement because in the back end, that's what the record labels do. When you hear these little labels and they doing the personal injury and the mesothelioma, they got affiliations with artists and labels. They then play the music. I've been an advertiser, guys. I've been a beast in this game. I've been a bully in this game for a long time. Advertisement is the key, guys. Everything is based around the advertising, guys. Clear Channel was a strong arm muscle play for me to get my songs on the radio and for me to get checks cut from Clear Channel. Because when you put money in an escrow account and you ask for it 90 days later, they can't refund it. They got to cut you a check. That's another $1 billion worth of game.
Hey, well, we appreciate you coming on, and you know this is one of the longer episodes, and it doesn't seem like you're even done giving game out, so we appreciate that. Hopefully we can get a part 2. I mean, there's a lot more to talk about. A lot more to talk about. I got notes. So shout out to everyone tuning in. Appreciate everyone that reached out to Chad Focus after our last conversation, because that was seemed like a pretty great response to the content. Once again, appreciate everyone, every single person tuning in. Chad, we appreciate you. Aaron, thank you for joining me for this and making this episode happen. And we will be back next week.
Salute, man. Stand up.